Hi, good morning. It is Sunday, September 25th at 10:33 in the morning. Laundry is going, and you can probably hear it really well because I'm a lot closer to it because I wanted to sit here in front of the loom so I can show this to you. Normally where I record is just back that way, just over there. So anyways, I don't have a lot to show. I don't think I have a lot to talk about. Today, so we're gonna go ahead and get into it. My name is Savannah of Sewlivi Dyes Yarn, and this is my little knitting / spinning, weaving. Now this is a new thing. Just all things crafty. That's what I talk about here on this channel. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I appreciate you stopping by. What do I want to say? So I don't have a lot to talk about. So it should be fairly quick. I do want to start with a little bit of a shop update / news. So October 1st will be my 2-year anniversary for SewliviDyesYarn.com. I think I'm going to go ahead and shut down for a little bit. It's not been a good year for my shop. So I think instead of spending money on the website every month, I think I'm just going to go ahead and shut it down. I do plan to have a big sale with what I do have in stock, only what I have in stock, come October 1st. So definitely keep an eye out for that. You can sign up for my newsletter so that you are, you get to know first, you'll get to know like what the sale entails, if there's a code, if it'll just be automatic, that kind of stuff, whatever you want to do. So yes, I think I'm just going to go ahead and shut down my site maybe mid-October maybe. And whatever I do have, like if I have any like what is it called, if I want to destash, if I do have something I want to sell, I did open an Etsy store. I don't prefer, like, the only reason why I haven't started with Etsy in the first place is because I knew I didn't want to. I know Etsy takes out a lot of fees, but because I'm so little of a business, I guess you could say, I don't think it's gonna hurt me too much to just pop in a few things every so often on Etsy. So again, that information will come at a later time. So yeah, I believe it's just Sewlivi Dyes Yarn also on Etsy, but I can't remember because it's been a hot minute. So again, just, stay tuned or sign up for my newsletter, whichever you prefer. And I'll get that information out in time. But yes, so that's what's happening. I'm going to have a big sale on what I have in stock come October 1st, and things will be moving over to Etsy at some point. Okay, that's it. That's all I had to talk about. I don't have anything else to mention about that. So I do have a finish, but I don't have it here with me. It's currently blocking. Last night I finished the Alpenglow sweater by Andrew Mowry. I remember I mentioned that I wanted my goal to finish the body before the end of the month. Well, I finished the entire thing, and that was the only thing I worked on this past week except for this. So oh, and spinning, a little bit of spinning, but that's all that I've worked on. I haven't done any other knitting projects. It was just that I wanted to get it done. I just wanted it done so that I could focus on other projects. So yeah, I'll show you the yarn that I have left over, and then I insert a photo of it blocking. It's outside blocking right now in the sun. It is currently 60 degrees Fahrenheit out there, so I don't know how fast it'll dry, but it's in the sun, so that should be helpful, right? Anyways, okay, let me show you what I have left over. So for the Alpenglow, I made size 3, and it said you needed 4 skeins of the main color, 2 skeins of the spin cycle, and then 1 skein each of the one of the like mohair, Surrey, whatever it was, and then your contrast color D, or shoot, color A, is it? Your collar color. So yes, I want to show you what I got here. So my collar color is a mess. I need to refix it. It's got a yarn barf, but I was able to make it work. I still have quite a bit of that. So you could have used, or if you haven't started the Alpenglow and you're thinking about knitting it in the future, I believe you can get away with some, like a half skein of this, you know, your collar and cuff color. I think you should be able to get away with that. My mohair was this one. This is a colorway I dyed last year. This was actually just a leftover from a different project, and I barely used any of it. So, and I was holding it double the whole time, so definitely you don't need a lot of mohair or Surrey alpaca, whatever you choose to use there. The spin cycle. So I wound both mine up together into one cake, and I had a feeling that I didn't even break into the second one, and I didn't. So here's the first one. I need to just wrap this into a ball. This is the first skein. There was barely any purple in this one, to be honest. Here's the second skein. I just wound this off onto my Swift and weighed it, and it's 52 grams. So a skein of, what is this, spin cycle dyed in the wool is 50, I believe it is 50 grams. If it says it, it's covered up by the label. But it's 200 yards sport weight. I believe these are 50 gram skeins. I never even broke into this one. And this is the one that has the most purple. So most of mine is just blue. There's a little bit of purple up here that you can barely see because it kind of blends in with the gray. But yeah, so I really only needed 1 skein. And I believe I added one extra repeat to the body, and I used a US 5 on the sleeves, and I still have this much left. And again, I knit the 3rd size. So yeah, you didn't need, or at least I didn't need 2 skeins. These are already in stash, so that's okay. But now what do I do with this, right? Okay, and lastly, the main color of the body, my dark gray. These colors were all dyed by myself, except for the spin cycle, of course, so they don't have names or anything like that, but it called for 4 skeins for the main color. This is skein 3. I barely used it, and I think I only used it for like the little bit left of the first sleeve and then all of the second sleeve. So I have a whole nother skein of this left. I didn't need to dye 4 skeins, but it is what it is. So again, I knit size 3, and I have, whoops, quite a bit of yarn left. I don't know if I can. Again, this sweater is kind of cropped, and it either has 0 ease or negative ease to it. So I have quite a bit of yarn left over. That's okay though. I definitely need to wrap this into a ball. Okay, so that is it. Again, that's all that I did for knitting because I really just wanted to get that done. So I have not worked on my color theory blanket at all in any way. I still need, I think I need 4 days is what I saw on my tracking, is I need 4 more days this month. I don't know if I'll get there. I know I have enough days to finish, but I don't think that I'll get there. I'm thinking about restarting my newspaper pullover by Joji Locatelli. That is the all over brioche raglan sweater that I started for the Joji's fall knit along. I think that I'm off by a few stitches, and I only have like this much knit, so it's not gonna hurt me to restart, and maybe I'll do better this time. So I'm thinking about restarting that, Again, I'm not entirely sure. We have the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along happening on October 6th. That is my birthday. We have that coming up, and that's going to take up a lot of time because I'm going to want to stay on top of that knit along. So that might be an only thing that I knit. So I'm almost debating on just dropping out of the Hohe Fall knit along because that shawl knit along is coming up. I would like to finish my Attune shawl by Andrea Mowry. I was thinking about working on that this week as like a in-betweener. That one's closer to being finished. I just don't think I could get it finished in a week. Well, it'd be closer to 2 weeks. Maybe. I was watching Grace of the, is it Catnip podcast? Little Minky. She's got a lot of different names. Grace, she's a knitter on YouTube here. She showed one of her sweaters that she was working on called Rug. I can't remember who it's by, but that's stuck in my head. I don't have yarn in stash for it though. So I'm trying to debate on, like, I think I want to do like a traditional, well, so it's called Rug and it looks like a Navajo rug design, but in a sweater. And I'm thinking I want to do like a red and a gray and cream. Here's the little ball. Red, gray, and cream. Oh, I can throw this in my basket for the blanket. It's little. So like a deep red, almost orangey color maybe. Gray, like a dark gray, and then a creamy color for mine. I don't know. I don't want to buy a lot of yarn for it. So I think what I'm going to do is I have some Wonder Fluff by Knit Picks that I have a little bit left over. I think I'm going to gauge swatch with that and see if I like that. And if I do, then maybe I'll buy that from Knit Picks in the colors that I want. I've been looking through a lot of the Ravelry project pages, and a lot of people used Alaflas Lopi, which is like, you know, Let Lopi and Plata Lopi from Iceland, but it's their kind. They just have very limited colors though, but a lot of people use those. What other? Plata Lopi. People use Plata Lopi, so I could see what colors that has, but I'm undecided. But that sweater is kind of stuck in my head, and so I don't know if I want to go ahead and try starting that sometime this fall, winter. So yeah, I don't know. It is a bulky weight sweater, so again, I don't have any bulky weight in stash. So we will see. We'll see. Oh, excuse me. Okay, my spinning. So I got this finished. Oh, it's blown out. Absolutely beautiful. So it's a merino. I dyed this myself. I wanted to see how that would work out. And I really, really like it. So I did something new to this time. I was able to split my fiber braid into 3, it wasn't equal parts, that's for sure, but 3 parts. Like I was able to do it in 3 parts, and I did a traditional 3-ply. And I have about, I would say it's probably close to a heavy sport or a light DK weight, which is perfect. I think that's absolutely wonderful. It's so soft and squishy, and I wish it wasn't blowing out. It's not gonna focus, but it's got peaches and blues and a very small amount of green in there. Really, really pretty. And the traditional 3-ply was a new thing for me. The only sucky part is this is not all the fiber, the majority of it, but not all of it. So again, I did not split my fiber evenly, and I did not weigh it each nest before I started spinning. I just grabbed one and spun, and 2 of the bobbins had more fiber than one of them. So Normally when I do a 2-ply, that doesn't matter because I can do the Andean plying method where I wrap it around that fancy tool that I got and 2-ply from that, no problem. You can't do that with the 3-ply. If you have 2 bobbins, you can't do that. So the only other way I know how to work a 3-ply is chain plying. So I did this, broke it off, and then took one of the bobbins and started chain plying, but I am not good at chain plying. The tension was all wrong. It was either too tight or too loose, and then it just clumpy, and it was not pretty. So I ended up just scrapping everything else. And this is all I got. So this is probably, I don't know, I haven't weighed it, I haven't done anything, but my guess would be that this is probably about 60-70 grams worth of fiber, so it's not a lot. Maybe I could make a hat with it, I don't know, but it's really pretty. I do like it, and I'm really happy with my 3-ply. It looks really good, really even. And I might have to experiment a little bit more in the future with doing 3-ply, but making sure I weigh my little bundles before I start spinning, so if one has more, I can move it to where it needs to go. So yeah, again, I'm really sorry that that's blowing out. Okay, last project is the one that's behind me. It's a very large one. I showed you the loom last video last week. I had made this, worked on making this, and then this past week I've been doing little by little. I just have it here on the floor instead of hanging up right now because I do think I'm going to want a 7-foot one. I still haven't measured this one yet, but again, the top bar was a 6-foot. These were 6-foot pieces of wood, so there's no way this is 7 feet. So yeah, I'm just practicing on this. It's not perfect in any way. I decided to go and get some just some yarn from Joann's because I didn't want to waste. I didn't want to experiment with my good yarn like hand spun or any yarn in my stash. So I got this big jumbo. This is a jumbo. It's called Lion Brand Mandala bonus bundle. This is, the colorway is called Sasquatch, and it is 300 grams or 1,181 yards, 1,080 meters. So it's a pretty big, cake. It's a pretty big cake, because I didn't know how much I was going to need. Well, let's move you back maybe a little. I guess you could say I'm about halfway finished, and I might be able to get 2 out of this. We'll see. I'm just guessing right now. Get 2 out of this. So you can see that it's shifting through colors, which is really fun. I like that. All right, I'll bring you closer again. So I have my top pegs. I have them at 1/2 inch apart. I thought when I bought this, I thought that this was worsted weight. It is not. It is a DK weight. So you can see through the weave quite well. It is a very loose gauge, I guess you could say. I'm not entirely sure the terminology. This is new for me. This is very new. So yeah, I don't know if everybody mentions 1/2 inch when they make looms like this. So that's what I went with. I don't know, it'll probably be better if I used a thicker weight yarn, like if I used a thicker hand spun or just a thicker weight yarn, like a bulky weight, maybe even worsted weight. But again, this is just an experiment. This is to see how I enjoy this, which I do. This is not bad at all. It's really nice to just put on a YouTube podcast or video and then work on this for a while. I don't know what else to say. So I do think if I do remake this, I might move these pegs in to 3/8 of an inch apart. I don't know. I'm gonna make this one, finish it, maybe make a second one out of this if there's still enough, and then use a bulkier weight yarn, or you know, just something that's a little bit thicker, and see how that goes. Again, I wish I knew exactly how much yarn this takes, because I have some hand spun that is not perfect that I could possibly just throw together onto this. I just don't know if I have enough. I don't know if I have enough. So it'd be a very scrappy shawl, but I want to see. So yeah, I have, luckily enough, I had these 2 Tunisian crochet hooks in stash, because you're gonna want something like this, because I took some video earlier, but really all you're doing is you're wrapping it around a nail and just weaving over, under, over, under, over, under. And while you're doing this, you're also making, you know, once you get through all the way down, you wrap it around another nail, and then you go across, and then you go back up. Well, it'll be up already, and then it'll come back down and across. It's not having to prep this in any way at all, so it's very nice. Takes a lot of time. Now that I'm now that I'm in these wider areas, definitely takes a lot more time. I'm in the corners. In these corners, it was pretty quick, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have this done in no time, and then I'm like, oh no. no. And it was difficult to, you know, because I could do a whole strand in one go up here, but then of course I have to eat little by little because now it's so long. But yeah, that is what I have been working on. And I want to do a bit more today too. So after this video, I'll probably go ahead and work on this a bit more. Get this yarn cleaned up, put away where it belongs, and, you know, carry on. Oh, okay, so dreads. I put these dreads in. I started yesterday, finished them today. I was hoping this would be my last set of dreads. I'm gonna be honest, I hate them. I do not love these. These are thick. These are way thicker than anything I've had so far. I have to, as you can see, I have a scrunchie here. These do not wrap and stay. These ones actually, let's see if I can pull out. I got these from AliExpress because I'm cheap. They didn't even dread them all the way to the ends. So it's wet because I just took a shower. I'm not thrilled. Not thrilled at all. My favorite ones, I'll be honest, my favorite ones were my first set. My first set, the black ones that I have, they were perfect. Those ones were from Amazon, and they were more expensive, but they are my favorite. They were thinner and softer and just perfect in every way. They were perfect. So I think if I don't buy another set off Amazon from the same dealer as the black ones, I think I'm just going to be done with this hairstyle for a while, because I am tired of buying them. That's for sure. So yeah, they are lighter than the hair color that I have currently, but yeah, I don't even think, I think I'll probably just wear them for this week. If they don't soften up and become more pliable, I think it's just this week, and then I'm done. I think so. I mean, when I took them out, I took my other dreads out 2 weeks ago? A week ago? I think it was a week ago, right before the video, my last video. I took them out, and I'll be honest, I missed them. I missed having the dreads, but I don't want to be uncomfortable just to have some. So decisions, but I am, again, I think if I do buy a set, it's going to be from the Amazon. It's going to cost a little bit more, but at least it'll be, you know, something I know that I'm going to like. Hopefully, right? They shouldn't be different from the black ones except for just a different color. Anyways, so yeah. That's it really, guys. That's pretty much it. I have a busy day with laundry, and everything else is mostly done. It was just laundry, so. And getting that sweater blocked. But that's, again, outside. So I'll see you guys next week. Bye.